I would say I'm freaked out, but I'm not really that freaked out. I'm a bit vulnerable right now. I'd love to, like, buy this. Guys, what is that? I want to go to the northern point. God. It feels like such a big moment. Hi, I'm Walt, and welcome to the beautiful and intriguing land of Scotland. Join me on my biggest ever road trip around the far north of England and the NC500 in my 20-year-old DIY Renault Traffic camper van. There are lots of ups and downs, twists and turns, and plenty of hidden gems are uncovered along the way as I meander into the wilderness. In this episode, I get to enjoy a private beach all to myself, where I'm able to swim. Then I go for a wander at night in the middle of nowhere all alone. And finally, I make my way towards the UK's most northern point on the mainland. So this is where that road took us last night. It's actually the old car, surprisingly, in the day. But I think it's because there's a little pull-in down there that goes down to lake. So I'm going to go and have a look. And I've just noticed this path. Might have to have a quick look at this path actually. This is a panoramic view of the loch next to the park up. It's very windy up this path, so again, I didn't really explore past this point. On that day anyway. This is actually a private beach, although you can obviously access it on foot. And it was completely empty, I was the only one there. Very beautiful. So just a lucky find, really. Yeah, if it wasn't for the really cold weather, then it would have been the perfect hangout spot for the day. But then I probably wouldn't have had it to myself. It's like an actual beach. Imagine people come here to go fishing. Because it's all chained off. Calmer than this though. Still this like bitterly cold wind. It's clearly a type of caterpillar, right? Like, it's not a millipede, is it? Because they're like smaller and that. Biology and stuff. Decided to go for the swim. Regardless. It did take me most of the afternoon to pluck up the courage to do that. Kind of just wanted a bit of a wash, really. Yeah, when it's like there's no one else around, it just becomes kind of even easier, doesn't it, to just wander in. It's really shallow though, and the rocks are really slippery. So, yeah, I couldn't really go out that far. Well, I could, but I didn't. For some reason I just wanted to do an aeroplane impression. Just felt right, you know? It's always the hardest bit, getting your shoes back on, isn't it, with wet feet and sand. That's my tactic right there. You got to wash the foot before you go in. Right, I've washed and shaved again after that swim because, well, I wasn't ready to swim. I just sat down. It was so shallow. Couldn't go out very far because A, it was really cold, like if you went away from the actual beach. Yeah, and also it was like really rocky, but like the bit that I was sort of stood in was like just sand, so I just stayed there. But then I like sort of lay down in it, didn't I? And then got covered in sand. So once again, I've left it a bit late because I was just really tired today, so I just rested most of the day. I just chilled. So I've got to cook this batch of food now, and it's already like 7 o'clock. I keep saying to myself, oh yeah, I'll do it, and then I'll like do there's a campfire out there, I might have to stay one more night just to take advantage of that campfire. I'm just drinking tea to warm my feet up after that cold swim. Logic. Oh, I love feeling clean and clean clothes. That was good last night. Got all the clothes done, like a big wash. It was 20 quid though. Well, 19, but it didn't give change. 9 quid for the tumble dry. But it is quite remote up here, to be fair, so I feel like all my clothes are small. Like I've shrunk everything. Like this shirt, it's like an extra large and the sleeves are like way too short. It's always the same, isn't it? Same with the t-shirt. It's like nearly too short. Nearly t-shirt. But yeah, this is sort of cleanish hair. There's lots of like sand and stuff in my hair, but apart from that, it wasn't too bad. Right, enough talking, I've got to cook. Nice little sunset there. Oh god, I'm tired. Oh, I've got to finish, still got to finish cooking. Yeah. Right, let's do it. Right, I've just finished cooking. Only one here. Just thought I'd have a little look outside. It's not that cold, there's like no wind at all now. But it's kind of a bit creepy, so I kind of felt like seeing what's going on. I've got to stay up for a couple of hours for my food to cool down. I feel like this is the moment in a horror film where I definitely get murdered. But this is so fucking weird that I just can't help it. The light's not strong enough. It's like the Blair Witch project right now. This is why I walk around the corner and my van's gone. My keys are gone. Actually freaking myself out. Thing is, I showed up like later than this last night, so someone could still show up. This looks so creepy at night. Can't believe I went for a swim in there like 3 hours ago. There's probably like a video for what not to do when you're on your own with no defence. There was like a weird pickup truck that showed up over there, like stopped like by those. It sort of like slowed down loads and then kind of stopped just down there by the chain, you know, for the lake. Sat there for like 30 seconds and it reversed back and like pulled in next to me. But I was in the van and I sort of peeked out the window and then they kind of looked at me and then just drove off. Probably absolutely innocent. I just don't trust people in the middle of nowhere. You kind of do weird shit like that. Do you know what I mean? I was sort of half expecting them to show up again tonight just to see. Like, you don't know if they're checking you out. Do you know what I mean? Like, they might just be seeing if there's anyone in there. They might be able to nick stuff or whatever. Or they were just looking for the lake and then decided that because the chains across it, they'd go somewhere else or something, I don't know. But there's really not many people around here, so it was kind of odd. I kind of miss just walking around at night. I used to do it all the time. I'd have like a couple of beers and then go for a walk, like with a mate sometimes. Like climb into some... I used to climb up drunk. That was a bad idea. Confessions. Right. I would say I'm freaked out, but I'm not really that freaked out. I don't know how interesting this is to anyone. I just felt like I'd document my little... Just don't have a pins and then go outside. Because I've had a drink, I just don't worry about stuff. What was that? I think I heard something. Imagine if that truck just came down now, like flat out. I feel like I can hear the wind coming back through the trees. It's really nice actually, just because it's not windy. So I've jinxed it definitely, but just being outside in the middle of nowhere feels so freeing at night. I would show you my face, but it won't. The flash only works this way around by the bit. I can't shine it in my eye because I was just a bit ridiculous. I better go back in really because I kind of want the fire going. Someone's made a fire pit and left like some tissues in it and stuff, but I could easily find some wood probably. Maybe I'll stay one more night tomorrow. I was feeling a bit lonely this evening, but I don't know. See how I feel. This whole trip has just been like how I feel really. I've just been like winging it. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm done with the place and I just move on. And other times I wake up and I'm like, nah, quite like it. Quite like being here right now. I don't know what, maybe that's bark or something. It's a bit weird, isn't it? These look proper cool at night, don't they? Spooky. When I pulled up, because it's quite late last night, I just assumed this was all trees, and then the next morning I sort of looked at it, and it's all like this. It's just like kind of really small trees and almost like a hedge, but quite large. Google Maps, the last time Google Maps updated this road was 12 years ago, and there was like hardly any of this like shrubbery about, so they've obviously grown quite a lot over the last decade. But it's great because it just protects you from the wind. It's like the only little spot for miles where you can get out of the 60 mile an hour wind. There's another little fire pit. They're a bit close to the plants, that's my only thinking with these, but I suppose it doesn't. The flames kind of stay pretty small. This is so surreal. This is so like, I need to sort my shorts out. Just don't do this, because this is obviously I'm a bit vulnerable right now, but go outside at night with your mates and just hang out in the evening or something. It's just so, it really opens my mind every time I do it, and I don't know why. Because it's so sort of, you know, like you never do it. It's kind of like surreal, like a dream, like I'm walking in a dream right now. It was my favourite memories of being a teenager were just like having a couple of beers and just walking around or something in the evening, like it when it's gone dark. You just feel like you're in a totally different world all of a sudden. It's like a complete escapism. And because you're walking, you're sort of exercising, so you sort of feel good as well. It's just, I don't know, I feel like really peaceful right now. Sorry, this is probably so boring for a viewer of YouTube, just like me staring at the floor, like this camera pointing at some fucking stones and shit, but I've been feeling really nostalgic this week for some reason. I've been listening to like music that I listened to sort of 20 years ago or something, like System of a Down. I've got really into that again, and I'm just like, fuck, why? Like, I'm one of those people that just worries about loads of stuff, even though I kind of get the impression that I don't. Like, my brain is always going like 100 miles an hour. Like, everything, I'm just like, oh no, I need to do this, I need to get better at this, I need to work harder and stuff, and I forget to just stop. Like, it sounds stupid, because like basically all I've done for the last month is nothing really. Like, this is a real sabbatical, but make my mind stop and open up again. I don't even know what I'm talking about really, I can't articulate it. It's like when I was on Sky, I was trying to talk about having dreams and stuff. It's like my inner thought process. But yeah, always at the Northern Star. Yeah, you can't see it. I can see it. I'm like the northern point of the UK. There's a little stream in the background. It's like 11 PM. There's not a soul in the world within miles of me. Maybe 10, 20 miles away. And there's just like the odd fox and the odd deer. And I just feel really awake. God, this is such a long recording. Okay, right. Over and out. I'm gonna go and watch the Blair Witch Project. Freak myself out. The next morning. Can't believe I didn't know this was here. Could have swum in that instead. On this side anyway. Oh, it's fucking perfect. Quick stop off at Moine House, further along the NC500 on the north coast. There was this funny path here, I don't know whether it's a kind of coastal footpath, cycle path. I wondered where this path went, I saw it on the main road. But it just seemed kind of interesting to me because you could see it for miles and miles, but it ran sort of parallel with the actual road. Well, this looks a bit creepy. Moine House is named after the Gaelic Main, meaning moss or peat. The long stretch of bog between the Kyle of Tongue to the east and Loch Hope to the west is called simply A Main, the moss. It was a difficult, dangerous place for travellers to cross until the Duke of Sutherland had a road built across it in 1830. So the road was the only route across the bog until a new one was built in 1993. Yeah, it's pretty desolate up here, making the old road, which we're standing on now, quite a challenge. It would have been a nice little house. It's a shame that... I'd love to, like, buy this and, like, renovate it. That'd be so cool. Yeah, it's near a main road, that's the only downside, but it's not on the main road. Yeah, that's the only downside. I say renovate. Yeah, it needs a lick of paint. Under your feet, the tarmac rests on a layer of bundles of heather, which stop it sinking. Oh, God, it's so cold and windy. Oh, look, there's some sort of plaque there. I think it was built for travellers crossing, yeah. The writing's come off. Crossing the bog. Incident to the former slate, the country. Estimate the advancing of presence. Don't know. John Horse per something? Yeah, John Horse per something. Sounds about right. Right, we're heading this way for Dunnet Head over there. The most northern point in the UK, the mainland. Yeah, also a family home in 1881. Oh, that's interesting. So there was like no road there in the early 90s. One more little stop off on the way. There's so many of these little places on this road that just look really epic. I do kind of wish I was able to explore Scotland before that sort of era when it was really like you just had to walk to certain parts of it. It's quite a feat of engineering, really. This road that goes straight across a giant estuary. That beach just goes on for miles. It's impressive that they built it, really. I suppose it links a lot of the towns on the north coast. I know there is a beach somewhere where it's like an 11-mile hike. It's the only access, so I'll have to try that one day. Guys, what is that? It's like all these strips of... It's almost like strips of seaweed, like in long rectangles. This beach is so vast as well. It's so strange. What a weird place. This road's weird as well. Just lots of weirdness. It's like a little cut through off the A road. Rejoin the old NC500, like the coastal road now. Because I think it sends the big motorhomes and stuff down that main road. But I'm not going down there because I want to go to the northern point. Dangerous pier, keep off. It is pretty falling apart, you can't really see now, the rain's come in. Just can't get over the beaches there, I'm going to get a shot of it. God, even the north coast beaches are the same as the west coast ones. It's just absolutely, it's hard to explain how windy it is, and also I'm really tired today. Otherwise I'll just go and run through the waves again. But I don't know if I've got it in me today. That's just such a vast landscape. Yeah, it's probably raining now as well. You have to come back here in the summer. Look at that little island. I bet you could almost wade out to that. So shallow. That's so cool. I've got to get there one day. I bet that beach on the other side is just... Oh, shame about the weather. It's so cold. We're in April now as well. Look at this. It's a house with like a tree growing through the middle of it. Or a house squashed by a tree. Or something, anyway. Something growing on it. Oh, I might have to drink some tea or something. I'm going to fall asleep. Don't know what's happened to me today. We made it to Dunnet Head, the most northern point on UK mainland. There are some seabirds and that. So we're actually looking north at the North Atlantic Ocean. I thought it was the North Sea, but apparently the North Sea is between England and, well, Britain and Norway. But we're looking like now is more sort of north, that's the actual direction. And as we move across, you can see sort of Orkney, which is a group of islands that are also part of the UK there, although that's John O'Groats, I think, that's part of the headland. And then obviously going miles beyond that, something like 100 miles further, you can see, well, you can't see, but you can get to the Shetland Islands, which is also UK. And then I think the Faroe Islands are possibly further west, but they're actually part of Denmark, officially. There we are, 58 degrees north. Can't believe we've actually made it. There's all these weird buildings as well, I couldn't quite figure out what they were. Looks like some kind of old military base or some kind of training camp. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, it's the Orkney Islands. So this is it, guys, I've made it to the edge. One thing that struck me a little bit about the north coast and the east coast, it's that stroma, I think is how it's called, is this kind of cliff edge shelf that seems to be quite characteristic of the area. It's very different to the sort of sand dunes and beaches on the west. And that's John O'Groats over there. I'll go past him a minute. Such a weird bit of landscape there. That body of water. Getting blown away again, but euphoric all the same. We've done it. It was more just the feat of getting a van with 200,000 miles on the clock to drive all the way up there that I was kind of impressed with. And the mind game of being on the road all those weeks. Like through the rain and the wind and the cold weather. It's also getting the van all up together over several years, and it's all kind of finally come together. Well, that's it, we're heading southbound officially. Oh, it feels like such a big moment suddenly. Yeah, definitely feeling a bit cathartic right now. Oh, I can find this building. There we go. Oh, we've actually made it. Definitely feeling quite cathartic. Stood behind this old abandoned building. But yeah, I honestly didn't think we were going to make it, or certainly didn't know I was going to get this far north. So it feels kind of like relief all of a sudden. Looks like the storm is coming in. We can end on stormy weather. You can't even see the horizon of the sea now, which is pretty cool to look at. Next time, 2,200 miles. That was too much. There's loads of bees around here. Oh look, there's a radio tower. If you enjoyed this video and you feel like hitting the subscribe button, it'd really help me to make more videos like this.